Welcome back to this new format, I guess.
Yes.
We're gonna do this for only these kinds of episodes. It's kind of a new wisdom episode, and we pre-written like a kind of a small format for it, and we're trying to use it. So it's actually a test phase. If it's really bad, you're not even gonna see this. But today, it's more about how we're gonna find answers to the question, and we're going to use a couple of YouTube videos for it, and 5 actually. And Stefan is here to help me out, like always. So that's pretty much it, and I'll explain to you after the intro. So let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go!
So here we are again. So I written some stuff down. That's why you can see me sometimes looking at the laptop, but it's way easier that way. Otherwise, I have to remember everything. And the thing is, why we did this is because we noticed, at least I did, that one video isn't enough for us to have a like clear answer to some of our questions. So we try, or at least I tried to find something that maybe helped out. So I thought about why not do like an hour YouTube research, and then after that come with a clear and concise conclusion. And if we then don't know, we'll just ask you guys, and hopefully in the comment section we'll get the right answer. So that's pretty much it.
Yes, fully agree, because we noticed, especially after the quiz, that there were some gaps in our knowledge, even if we covered a certain topic. So if you really want to get to know more about the Philippines and about your roots, then I think this is the way forward. And hopefully it can be entertaining for you guys as well. So if you guys don't like it, also let us know. So
we'll hear about
then it will be a one-time thing. And if you guys like it, then we continue experimenting with new formats and trying to improve these kind of episodes.
Yeah, I guess so. Our main question on this episode is, why is the Philippine Christmas from September to December? So I asked Stefan this question before, so he can write down his guess, and after that we'll like start the research, and we'll just do a quick break and see you back. So what's your initial guess?
How suitable for this time of year.
Exactly.
Well, it is really interesting, because the Philippines is the only one who does it this long, celebrate this long. I think it's developed over time, and it's a mixture of the Philippine culture with the strong religious beliefs. So I think it's a development of cultural impact with the religious beliefs. So yeah, kind of fake answer, but I think it's not something that just it's been decided like, oh, let's do Christmas now from starting 1st of September.
Yeah, same.
I think it developed over time. Yeah.
I guess I'll let that out of my answer, but maybe they're like with the rest of the world, they're just done of undressing the tree every time, and then think, well, we'll put it on longer. I just say, I'm not gonna.
Maybe that's from your own experience that you don't feel like putting down the tree again.
Yeah. I think the other thing is maybe like economical input, like maybe a surge of money because of the Christmas, everybody is spending more. That can be a thing. And I know it's a joyful time, so why not make it longer? If anything, it's just better, just make Christmas
more
longer,
fun,
so
more longer.
It's more fun in the Philippines, so why not have a longer Christmas? So
it fits.
Yeah, I think, and I agree with your conclusion as well. So that's our pre-guess, and now we're gonna do I think it's 5 videos for about 5 to 6 minutes each. So give us like a half hour. You won't see any of it, but you'll see what our conclusion is per video. So see you in a bit. Let's go. So and the first video actually is from Kirby Arroyo. Name of the video: The Mind-Blowing Truth Why Philippines Christmas Starts in September. So actually pretty accurate of our question.
Kind of similar to our question. Yeah.
So I wrote some stuff down in the summary, but I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
I thought it was interesting, and I wrote down the timestamp. 155 that he said the the rebirth and rebuilding part that really nobody else mentioned that, and very the whole video was with very insightful new findings for me. It was all new information, and that's why I really like this video. And the rebirth and rebuilding part, I think that's symbolic, and it really fits to start celebrating when that time starts, I guess.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We did our separate research on all the videos, and I had an interesting bit on 152, so it's pretty close. Coming of Emian, North Wind, and the end of typhoon season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some other cool parts like the sacred bird, the tarot. That's, I like it. I like the way he presented it. He seems very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And what I also really like that he approached it from multiple perspectives, and it kind of fits with my guess. Like it's not just one thing that made it that it starts 1st of September. So I like this approach as well. Yeah.
I think in his video, but you can see that we didn't do that good of a research. I think he's like a Philippine historical YouTuber, so he did, that's his thing.
Yeah.
I wrote down great video for our question, lots of info. September 16th. There, it's exactly 100 days before Christmas, so it's a countdown thing.
Yeah.
I found it really interesting. He really shortly says about like a marketing stunt in capitalism, what I thought, but he really said after that lots of historical facts that that's not really the case.
Yeah.
But there are so many other things. I think this is one I would recommend everybody to watch, but I will maybe at the end say something about that as well. And I found it interesting that the ube can only be grown and harvested during that time, the Burr months.
I bet a lot of Filipinos don't even know that about the tarot, the bird tarot, tarot, that he prevents that bird prevents the plagues and the little insects from ruining the harvest, and which actually means that ube then can harvest, grow, and that's why they can make festivities with festive foods and whatnot, and the typical ube dish.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all.
No.
There were so many facts that I didn't know about. So really good video.
Yeah.
So video 2. Finding Tom. That's the who it is from. Christmas is the best in the Philippines. So not quite exactly what our question is. But I'll start with the main summary, what I thought. He talks about the Burr months again. So yeah, that's of course the September to the December one. And he said like it's a mix between Western and Filipino culture. I think he also is from outside perspective, of course, because he's a Westerner. So he's just talking his points of view about it. So that's why I thought some things were interesting, like the party all night and the midnight. That's what we do as well. So that's what I can still remember when I went there, and actually what we do in Holland as well, in the Netherlands. And I never heard about the Noche Buena. I know what it is and what we do about it, but I never heard actually that there was a name of it. And si Bang Gabe. I didn't know that at all. With the whole morning, that's extra early because of the farmers and the heat. That's what he said, and that's the only place ever that does that.
Yeah, that also was new information for me. Like I knew there were morning masses, but I didn't know it was that early. It's really early, and it makes sense when you explain it, and when you think about it actually. But yeah, it's just new info. What I found interesting about this video is that it's an American perspective on Filipino Christmas. He was kind of as shocked as we were the first time we heard about Christmas being celebrated from the 1st of September all the way up to December, and actually I heard already it's even somewhere in January with the Three Kings.
Comment section.
Comment section. Yep. Not in any of the videos, so that was pure from the comment sections. Also, I think he kind of missed some interesting points out. Like he he mentioned the similarities between American Christmas and Filipino Christmas, but he didn't mention the differences in for instance, the parole or something that he could have mentioned, because the decorations is definitely not the same as in the States. That's he could have mentioned that, I guess.
Yeah, I think he kept it really shallow and not a complete picture. But then again, this was his point of view.
I think it's interesting for people who never heard of Christmas in the Philippines before. But other than that, it was not really extra information or adding to our answer to our question. Yeah,
true. On to the next. So our next one is by Tech and Media Trends. Why I had this video in our list is because the title actually says why the Philippines has the longest Christmas season. So
suitable
for why. But you can start it off.
Oh, you already know what I'm gonna say, because it wasn't a pretty sight to see. I mean, I bet the person who made this put some time and effort in it. But for the audience, me as audience, it was a bit painful to watch. The robot voice and the cringe edits was a bit too much for me. It was really difficult to listen to. In the beginning was very generic, the info, so it all adds up. It's like, oh, why am I watching this video? But in the end, the maker did well and had some meaningful insights, if you ask me. So the coolest thing I thought was the part where he said, the robot voice said, the wishes are granted. It's believed the wishes are granted when you go to every mass before Christmas. So the 9 days before Christmas. You're laughing. That's the main bit, the main takeaway I got out of this video.
So my interesting bit, start off right off the bat, was 2 minutes 37 until 2 minutes 53, because attend all the masses and get a wish. So that's what you get when you watch the same video. But I guess it's good from two perspective. My summary was the computer voice as well. For me, it was I don't mind the editing, but I did mind the computer voice. It's just gives off
just a regular voiceover would be nicer.
What I didn't know is like the Christmas songs, and they're mostly positive, of course, but the name Jose Marichan, I never heard of him before. So I'll ask my mom, because I think it's fun if she knows this, and if I guess he is already an older person, so he might be their Christmas guy for a long time. The last few years. And some things, the normal facts he is portraying, like time for families to reunite and expected to be home. That's what I noticed from other videos, or they do or don't portray it, but I just know it that they will come home for Christmas because it's a family occasion.
True, I also thought that was also at the later part of the video. That's also what I liked. And you're right, actually, about the I didn't write down the name. The guy who makes the Christmas songs. That was also completely new info for me. I didn't mention that mainly because I thought it wouldn't benefit me much for seeking the answer to our question.
No, just an
but
extra thing.
It was definitely new info that other videos didn't mention. Yeah, fun fact.
Fun fact we didn't know about the Philippine Christmas.
Yes.
Okay, so next video. So video 4 by Mikey Bustos, if I say that correctly. The name is the Filipino Christmas tutorial by Mikey Bustos. So another one that's maybe more an all-round thing than actually particular our question, but this is what I found about it. It was an old video, a really old one, but it was still funny to me. The parole lantern was something we saw before in Catriona Gray video. There was a bit about it, and like the bright star, and they actually said it was really important. The other thing I found funny was the plastic tree he was talking about, like, and the reduce, reuse, and recycle, like the green Christmas was very funny. Another mention about Sibang Gabi. the 9-day celebration. And this time he actually said, even though it was funny, there were a lot of information coming from him, that it was like 4 in the morning, and that the church bells actually were at like 3 a.m. And it was like a funny bit about it as well. And he ended off with saying lots of lanterns, meet people, and eat lots of food. I think this was a very informative but funny and well-rounded video, actually. And we heard him before. We have a couple of his recommendations from people of Mikey Bustos, so he will be in our channel in the future for sure, because it was really funny, or at least a really good video and funny.
Yeah, well said, actually. Well, I actually thought the same thing. He's quite a funny guy. You need to find it funny. I mean, it's not for everyone.
Sure. Yeah.
At times it was a bit too much for me, but I think he's a really funny guy in general. And I like that he did the skits after everything he explained. He did a little skit, and that was funny. For instance, when he went to Manila to get into, for the open house celebration thing. What I thought, this I think out of the bunch, this was my second favorite video. And the reason why is because it was to me very insightful, because he explained it from a experience perspective.
True.
Like how it was, how it was like a kid celebrating Christmas, and I guess he could do it and the others couldn't. But that's the way I wanna learn about the Philippines and about the culture, because it's from the experience, how they experience it, and that's very different than all the other videos. So that for me was very interesting, and I loved it, and I liked it that it was also relatable, even though we, especially not me, I never experienced celebrating Christmas in the Philippines, but the things like he said with the kids singing, that was very relatable to me. And that's really weird, because with me and the Indonesian community over here, we are celebrating Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr, the sugar fast after Ramadan, and we also need to sing and do prayers and that kind of stuff, and you're also forced to not be shy, and it just felt so similar and so relatable. That's what I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah. Good video overall.
Yes.
Okay, number 5. Let's go. By Acorn Hill. Early Christmas in the Philippines, and why Philippines start Christmas once the month ends in Ber. Almost literally our question. It's like this close.
And all the videos mention the Ber month, so that should not be new info at this point anymore.
He was talking about the holiday items, and they bring it out in September, and he also talked a lot about the traditional items. The most iconic Christmas signal is the Christmas parole, and now we have heard that many and plenty of times. Didn't know that, like, of course it's kind of that you should know, but it symbolizes like light above darkness, and of course it's a light, so it's really easy to say that, but he actually put it in words and said that's what the meaning of it was. One thing I found interesting, but I didn't hear a lot about, so let me know, is the traditional Filipino Christmas food, and then actually the whole conversation stopped. I didn't really hear like it's lechon or it's something manok, and that's it. So if there is a particularly Christmas food, let me know, or is it just regular food that is made?
It felt like a teaser, because I think on his channel he explains or he does recipes, and exactly. He said something like if you want to learn how to cook traditional foods, but he didn't mention it. Indeed,
it's not like a turkey something like made especially for Christmas. So let me know if that's actually there. And I found I'm asking my mom if she knows, like, I'll put the picture up here, if she knows that it's I saw Ilocano versions of the Christmas song, so I'm like, hey, I know this.
Represent.
Yeah, so I found that interesting, and a bit about the parole itself from 1 minute 16 until 2 minute 9. Parole is something I now have heard like three times explicitly, so that's the main traditional item. So
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, because of the Catriona Gray episode, I already knew the pearl was a big thing. Not just Christmas, but the pearl itself is like a real icon, and I could tell because I never seen something like that, especially not the way they made it. Traditionally, I think it was something made with paper and stuff, but now it's just like very fancy and very cool. And I actually wrote that down also as the highlight of the video, the parole. And I like it that he put it in a romantic explanation rather than historical or a cultural thing, like what you said, the expression of shared faith and hope, triumph of light over darkness. Yeah, very cool, very cool, and that gives the icon more power and more power to the icon. And that is the main takeaway of the video. I like the guy. He has a calming voice, explaining things. So the person himself I liked, but the information was a bit not short. Sometimes a bit too conclusive without it being a conclusion. Like he started off with the reason it starts 1st of September is because it's the coming of Christ. End of conclusion. And no abbreviation, like no explanation about why. And I just wanted to know more, and for me that answer wasn't sufficient enough. So that's kind of where the video misses some points. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to our small conclusion before we go to the end conclusion. One of the things I want to end off with is, what do you think was the best video of them all? So maybe a good recommendation.
The very first one. If you want to know more about why, because they all answer a certain question, but the real question why, I think the first one does it best, and he has a lot of knowledge about the subject, I can tell, and he just puts it from multiple perspectives, multiple angles, and he just gives so much information so you can draw your own conclusion, and that's what I like. So for me, video number 1. Yeah,
I agree. Because it's true. And the funny one was for me the Mike Bustos one. Bustos.
X.
So those two are definitely number one. That's it. We'll just roll out our main conclusion. I think we're not sure how we're gonna do that in the future, but for now we're gonna put our heads together and actually make one similar one. And if it doesn't happen next time that we have a totally different points of view, then we might have a different format, but that's it for now. So roll in the main conclusion. We think it starts in September because that marks the start of rebirth and rebuilding, or coming of the north wind. September 16th is also 100 days before Christmas, or a countdown. And finally we know that the Christianity in the Filipino culture shapes the way Christmas is celebrated. So in our opinion, it's just the merged values and beliefs between religion, history and culture that extended the Christmas period. And here we are again at the end. So one thing we will definitely do next time for sure is we'll roll in our question way before, so maybe a couple of weeks ahead, and you put it in our Instagram, and I think I'll put it in the YouTube comment as well as in
community tab. Maybe. Yeah.
And on the latest video of the wisdom one.
Yeah.
So we can get a lot of videos recommending for that question. So we have the perfect videos for that.
For answering our question. Yeah.
That's it. I hope you liked it. If you don't, just let us know. We'll try to tweak and be better of it for sure. Really a testing phase for us, but I really did like how we was our end conclusion and how we got there instead of reacting to one. Yeah,
this version might be a bit messy, but I think we're off to the right track. Yeah,
off
definitely.
To the races. So until the next time, deuces.
Ciao.